Welcome back. Let's check crypto prices this morning. Take a look. They're higher across the board. The Securities and Exchange Commission has ended its investigation into crypto exchange Ripple, the latest, of several deregulation actions by the Trump administration in the digital asset sector. Joining me now is the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, back with us. Brad, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be back. Nice to see you.
Well, congrats on this move by the SEC. What does this enable you to do at this point?
Look, thank you. Congrats to, I think, the whole industry in a bunch of ways. As you know well, Ripple is really amongst the very first crypto companies to get sued by the SEC. We said then when it started that the SEC was going to be on the wrong side of the law as well as on the wrong side of history. It took longer than we would have liked to kind of prove that out, and more than $150 million of legal bills, but we're thrilled with the ultimate outcome. It allows us to really unlock the U.S. market, which has really been very hostile, with a lot of headwinds in the U.S. market for the whole crypto industry.
Yeah, for sure, and we saw investors react to it, XRP seeing a gain over the last week. But Brad, I want to get your take on what Japanese banks may be preparing to do in terms of adopting XRP. What can you tell us about the growth story at Ripple when you look across the world, overseas markets?
Well, once the United States government filed suit, we really were kind of frozen in the U.S. market. And so about 95% of our customers today, Ripple's customers, are non-U.S. financial institutions. And those are some of the largest financial institutions, ranging from HSBC and BBVA to payment providers you wouldn't necessarily have heard of. Markets like Japan, I think, are still unlocking. The market opportunity here is massive. You have trillions of dollars flowing cross-border globally. It's still largely dominated by the SWIFT network, if you will. And that's architecture, that's a technology architecture that was developed 50 years ago. There's an opportunity to modernize. That takes time, particularly when you have a government in the U.S. kind of combating that innovation. But that's changing now. The Trump effect, if you will, is profound. You're seeing that in asset prices, but you're also going to see that in the adoption of these technologies.
Yeah, and I think, so when you're looking at the growth story then of Ripple, does it still come from overseas, or are you expecting a change in terms of domestic interest in Ripple?
Well, we're definitely already seeing a change in the domestic interest. The 6 weeks after President Trump was elected, we signed more deals in the United States than we had in the previous 6 months. So these are very innovative technologies. I think they're going to play out over 10, even 20 years in terms of how they integrate and rewire the financial infrastructure of the United States. That's across payments. That's across even the settlement of maybe real estate transactions, securities transactions. So I think we're going to see this play out over a long arc. But the United States is finally unlocked, and I think people are underestimating how big that change is, and you'll see that continue to play out this year.
Yeah. Now, President Trump spoke at the Digital Asset Summit in New York City last week. Here's a clip. Watch.
Pioneers like you will be able to improve our banking and payment system and promote greater privacy, safety, security, and wealth for American consumers and businesses alike. You will unleash an explosion of economic growth, and with the dollar-backed stablecoins, you'll help expand the dominance of the U.S. dollar. I can already see that the energy and passion of the crypto community is the kind of spirit that built our country, and it is exciting to watch as you invent the future of finance. It's going to be right here in the USA, the good old USA. Together we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world.
And the president signed 2 executive orders as part of his pro-crypto agenda, including strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology and establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and U.S. digital asset stockpile. Brad, give us your outlook and really what those 2 executive orders may do. What else do you need to see in order to see stability and growth out of digital assets?
Well, look, in terms of what else we need to see, I think what the president has already done is he has used the expression, promises made, promises delivered. The unlock for U.S. financial institutions is absolutely happening. Banks that were really hesitant and really nervous about touching crypto technologies or even helping their customers. Those banks and those financial institutions are leaning in now, and that's a big deal for sure, not just for Ripple, but for the whole industry. So he has certainly lived up, and I think we will see the U.S. finally start to catch up with the leadership we're seeing from other markets around the world, that they've really taken the lead, and we need to invest here and see some of these U.S. companies thrive.
Yeah, and we've spoken with the regulators about this. We spoke with Cynthia Loomis 2 weeks ago and last week with French Hill as they craft the regulatory framework. What's most important to you in terms of the regulation part of this? Let me run this. Cynthia Loomis and French Hill with us just in the last 2 weeks. Here's what they said about regulation. Watch.
Bitcoin is a commodity, so it will be regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Some other cryptocurrencies look more like a security and should fall under the disclosure requirements at the SEC. So part of what we want to do is guide what is a commodity and what is a security and provide that kind of clarity in the law so we can let agencies know who has jurisdiction over what.
In a big developed country like the United States, we already have many, many ways to instantaneously pay for things. And this wouldn't be top of mind, but it will be lower cost in foreign markets. You have, you reduce the cost of foreign exchange, you reduce the cost of fees across borders. And so in some countries where they have an unstable currency, a weak banking system, not a very good payment system, a smartphone app with a digital wallet with a dollar-backed stablecoin is a good way, even at retail, to do a transaction.
Brad, what's most important for the regulators to understand as they create this new framework for digital assets?
Well, look, the good news is people like Congressman Hill, they do understand. They understand how important it is for these technologies to thrive here in the U.S., and they have started to architect bills to help enable that. I very much agree with Senator Loomis. It can't just be, executive orders. It needs to be codified with legislative efforts by Congress. We're seeing a lot of forward movement. A stablecoin bill is already going through markup, and I think we'll see that come to a vote in the next 4 to 8 weeks. There's the second one that Senator Loomis also talked about was what we often call a market structure bill, providing clarity that we've been asking for as an industry as to how will these technologies, these tokens be regulated. Are they commodities? Are they securities? XRP was deemed to be a commodity or not a security by a federal judge, which is the opposite of what the SEC had said. So to see the SEC really combat lawfare and to attack this industry and now have leaders like Senator Loomis and really heroic leadership from Congressman Hill, I think it's going to make all the difference in the world. And I think we're going to see both a market structure bill and a stablecoin bill pass in the next 6 months.
So what does that mean for Ripple?
Well, it means the clarity we have been asking. And Maria, you and I have talked to this probably over the years, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times, to get that regulatory clarity so that the customers we engage know they can engage in good faith and to use these technologies without fear of regulators coming in and attacking them. That's a big deal, and that will allow this innovation, allow more job creation, more innovation, and frankly, capital formation here in the United States.
Understood. Brad, it's great to catch up with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.